Welcome everyone. It's very rainy outside, but I'm warm and cozy inside. And I have said to people in my WhatsApp group, Happy Stamping WhatsApp group, that I do a Facebook Live showing the plaited paper technique. So I got this from Song of My Heart Stampers. Lissa is the name of the lady that did it, and it's a really fun technique. So I'll first of all show you cards that I've done with it. So this was case that's just almost the same as her card. That's using the Snowflake Splendor Snowflake Wishes Designer Series paper with the Snowflake Wishes stamp set. And this one is the same paper, which has got a little bit of Highland Heather in it, and that's the Dove of Hope stamp set. And this is the For Unto Us stamp set that says, sharing with you the glory, wonder and miracle of this holy season. Just a little bit of glimmer paper there made all the difference in both of these cards, I think. This is pool party card base for both of them. So that's those two. And then I did this one using the Tag Buffet stamp set that many of you bought in the sale. Hi Anita, good to see you. So a lot of you bought the Tag Buffet stamp set in this clearance end of season sale for $10.20 instead of, I think it was $17. Really good buy. I love this stamp set. I've stamped it with sentiments from Dove of Hope, joy, peace, love, and this is from the For Unto Us set. May your heart be lifted in praise this Christmas for the wonderful gift of Jesus and the joy he brings to our lives. So there's the plaited paper underneath. And then this one is using the Coming Home stamp set. So there's the house and the car. The warm wishes for a happy Christmas is from a new stamp that I actually won in a raffle that my upline did. So I'm really pleased. I used the trees from the Coming Home set to stamp the background. So what you need is 4 strips of paper that are 12 inches by ½ an inch. And I'm going to show you 2 because depending on how you lay out the paper, so this one I've actually glued the black strip to the black strip like that. Then I'm going to do a white strip and a white strip, and that will come out differently to this one where it's all done at right angles. And the only tricky bit, which isn't really tricky at all actually, is the first bit here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. So do you remember, it's basically 4 strips of Designer Series paper which have a contrast on both sides. Actually, that's interesting because it's hard to see. I'm just going to get a piece of white paper because with the black it's hard to see it underneath, so I'm going to have to put something underneath here. So let's just pick that up. There we go. And put that like that, and you can see more clearly now that I've stuck just what the good thing about Tombow is that you can wiggle it around a bit, but I think that'll do. So there we go, there's my right angle. So I'm going to take a contrast, and this one, the third piece, goes over the second piece, and the thing to remember is to line it up with the other, so to get it so that it's at the edge there and line it up here. And this is why Tombow is good, because I can just move it to make sure I've got it pretty much even like that. Okay, you may need your bone folder just to straighten out the edges, and then I'm going to just put the glue on the top square here and take this other piece and lay it on here so that I make sure that it lines down with that piece. So can you see? That's the pattern. So that's the tricky bit, not really tricky at all actually, to get started. And then you don't need any glue at all. So I'm going to put the top of my Tombow, and I'm going to take this and just put my fingernail there, and I bring it down so that it's going to line up with this line here, and just like that. There we go, that's nice. And then I take, so you take the top one, and it's always the top one coming over. This is where the plaiting comes in, but thankfully it's only 2 instead of 3. So then you're like that, and I take the top one here and put that over like this, and there's some writing coming out now. This is retired paper. We had this a long time ago. I demonstrated this to my team last night in my team meeting, and one of the girls in my team is very musical. She's very good at singing and very musical family. And she said, oh, it would look really good with musical paper. So that's why I decided to use this paper because we don't have any musical paper currently, but it's always good to hang on to some old designer series paper because you know what, you never know when you're going to use it. So here we go. So you can see a bit of a pattern developing here. So if I just put that one down there, so depending on where you have the colours of the strips, depends on what the pattern is going to look like. So let's just get that down there. And then this one's going to come over here. Any comments? No comments yet. Hope you're enjoying it, Anita. Do you know how to slow? Well, when I put this on YouTube, there is a way of slowing down a YouTube video so that you can watch it. Very useful for knitting videos when people go really fast knitting and you want to see what they're doing and you want to slow it down. So I'm just going to do two more. One like that and then one like that. There we go. So that's the first one done. Just take my bone folder, give it a nice crease. These bits will be stuck down, but you're not going to use all of that because if I just find a card base, I've got card base here, it's going to actually go onto the card base, probably that way actually, like that. Either so it would be a landscape card or else so it would be a portrait card. So I'll decide on that in a moment. I probably won't finish the whole card. So this one is going to be different because I've got two black and then I'm going to do two white. So I've attached this piece on top of the other piece like that. And then I'm going to take some glue and I'll think of this as a square, one square down from the top, and just put a little bit of glue like that. And I think I want that side. In fact, I want it so that the writing's like that, but the writing will go upside down and everywhere. So that's going down like that. So I've got it so that that's like that. And then I'm going to put it in this square up here, not that one, this one next to it, just a bit of glue there to hold it down. And I'm going to have this going like this. I chose the black and white because I thought it was probably easier for you to see what I'm doing. So that's all the gluing that we need to do. So now I'm going to take the top one and I'm going to pull it down like that. Doesn't really matter whether you take the left one or the top one. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it across like that. Just want to make sure that's straight and that this is straight here. And just get that like that. There we go. And then I'm going to, whoops daisy. I think I might have done that. No, I think I did that wrong. I think, going back a few steps, that I probably, let me think, 1, 2, okay, I'm going to do that one first, I think. Don't know if it's going to make a difference, but we'll see. That one first, and then I'm going to do this one. And then I'm going to do this one. And then I'm going to do this one. Whoops, get that out of the way. This is actually slightly thinner than our normal designer series paper. It was one where you got 24 pieces in the pack, speciality paper, and it's slightly thinner, which can have its advantages and disadvantages depending on which project you're using it for. So these are going to come out when you do it like this in alternate stripes. This one, you've got the black, white, white, black, black, white, white, black. So it's sort of alternate like this. This one you're going to see is going to come out in alternate stripes. So actually quite fun to play with so that you get different effects. And it was quite interesting to see what some of my demonstrators were doing last night. I knew they'd think outside the box and I knew they'd come up with some interesting ideas, which of course they did. Wish I could show them all to you here, but I can't even remember what they did because they were so unusual. So just get that one straight down there. And that one straight like that. So I don't know whether I will actually finish off this particular card, but at least hopefully you'll get the idea. Probably if you look up paper plaiting on YouTube, you'd find a video that would give you Some of them are more complicated. What I like about this one is it's quite simple. So that's actually enough. So I don't know which one you prefer, whether you prefer black, white, black, white, black, white, or black, white, white, black, white, white, black, black, white, white, black, and so on and so forth. I think personally I prefer this one, but I could probably make both of them into a card. And I want to have that showing. So how I would actually finish that off, I don't know. But what I will do is at least stick it down so you can see what it looks like. So probably if I had some, I'm going to put some glue down like this. I'm going to be very brave and guess where I'm going to put it. And put perhaps a little bit more Tombow down than I normally do because I want it to stick. And then I'm going to put it down like that. And try and get it even. There we go. So you stick it down, put the top on your glue, take your scissors, paper snips in this case, and just, I hope you can, perhaps you can see that better now. So I'm going to cut off the end and cut off this end as well, like that. And now I'll just put my little bits away. I think you can see that. I'll just move it up a little bit so you can see a bit better. That's better, I think. Get rid of these bits. It's always good to get rid of paper because we always seem to accumulate so much of it. Now you notice that's a bit straggly, that bit, so I'm going to glue this down there, and that's all right, and that's all right there. So nothing leaps off the page to me how to finish this at the moment, but I'm sure I'll think of something. But there's the card like that, or I suppose I could have had it this way and had one down like that. So that's the technique. I'll post a photograph of this finished card, hopefully, on my WhatsApp Happy Stampers group and probably on the Fanny Stafford's Happy Stampers Facebook page as well, so you can see what I ended up with. So I'll just show you once again these cards that I did. So this is with Snowflake Wishes Designer Series paper. That's similar to the one I've stuck on the card. You can see the alternate colours. This one is, for some reason it was 2 of the darker, 2 of the lighter, 2 of the darker, 2 of the lighter. I need to stick that bit down. This one, you can't actually see a lot of the braiding pattern because it's covered with the stamped images and the sentiment, but you get the idea. Probably if I had my time again to do this, I'd probably emboss the white cardstock with the Subtles embossing folder just to give it a bit of extra interest. And this one I wouldn't need to emboss because I've stamped the trees as the background with the little snowflakes from the stamp set. But you can see it's interesting here how you've got the paper which has got the writing on it contrasting with the other side of it. I used the same paper on this one, so that's the other side of it, the white. And interestingly enough in this, and I don't know how I did it, you've got all the darker on that side and all the whiter on that side, and I probably will never be able to repeat it, but there's that card as well. This is a great stamp set, really simple but great to use. So there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed that short video and that you'll have a go yourselves. Bye.